All right, there's a lot of history here in Utah. Today, we're going to be honoring some Black history ties to the state. The Sema Hadithi African American Heritage and Culture Foundation, did I get it right?
You got it right.
Is celebrating its 5th anniversary next month.
And joining us now is the director of the foundation, Robert Burch. He has been leading events about Utah's Black history for the past 10 years.
Yes.
So,
yes. Thank you.
Yeah, this is pretty exciting. Tell us what's going to be coming up.
Well, our annual Ancestral Remembrance Celebration and Awards Dinner will be on September 12th. And we're also having our annual Black History, Tell the Story Black History Month on the following day, September 13th.
Excellent. So for those who have not heard of this foundation, tell us what it is exactly. Describe it for them.
Well, we are a historical society. We celebrate our 5th anniversary on the 20th of this month. Okay, but we tell the story of African Americans from the mid-1800s to the present. So we work with partners around the state to research and preserve and share those stories. And we call ourselves Sema Hadithi because it's Swahili for tell the story.
Okay.
So we want families to not just take their family history and put it in a book and put it under the coffee table. Spread the word. Make it public history, and therefore it becomes Utah history and becomes American history.
And these are specifically stories with Utah ties, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Specifically.
It's about Utah.
Yes. We found that a lot of our students know great stories about great people like Martin Luther King Jr., but I mean, he's in Georgia, and other folks from Maryland and Delaware who made a difference in Black history but don't know the story of the folks here.
Well, tell us, maybe top of mind you have a story that maybe we don't really know about, or that we should know about.
Well, there's a lot. So when you ask that question. But for instance, a lot of people don't understand the impact that the state of Utah had in military history in the United States, and not just for African Americans, but for the U.S. Army as a whole. And we've had some of the greatest leaders who've been African Americans in the United States Army and Air Force whose career started right here in Utah, like Charles Young and Benjamin O. Davis, and his son, Benjamin O. Davis Jr., who becomes a red tail and becomes the first African-American general of the United States Air Force. Just as his father became the first general of the United States Army.
Do you find that people in Utah are sometimes surprised when they hear about some of the stories they haven't heard before?
Yes. Oh, most definitely, because I think part of the narrative, part of the situation is that there has been somewhat of a restricted narrative of what Utah is. And we don't always get the story of the different cultures and the different people who live here. And so when we tell them about the Green Book, they're like, no, there was no Green Book. Safety journals here in Utah, but there's not just a Green Book, but others as well that help African Americans travel safely throughout the West. And so Utah was one of those places as well. So we run into that kind of narrative all the time.
And where can people go if they want to do some research and gain a greater understanding and appreciation? Oh,
certainly they can contact us. You can go to our website, semahadithi.org, and that's SEMAHADITHI.org. And you'll find there a lot of stories. You'll also find links to us on our social media pages, as well as how to contact us if you want to volunteer or if you want to donate or otherwise support us.
And we have that website address on our screen popping up here and there. You mentioned 2 events coming up, so I want to go talk about them more specifically. The Ancestral Remembrance Celebration and Recognition Dinner Gala taking place Friday, September 12th, correct?
Yes.
What is that exactly?
That is an event that we hold for the remembrance of our ancestors, to stop and take time to recognize what they have done and gifted to us as being with their presence here in the United States. So we want to take that opportunity to recognize people who've done work in African American history in Utah that may not necessarily be a part of Sema Hadithi, because there's universities and students like that who are doing research, like the students who will be conducting our conference from Utah State University, who've done research on the Green Book. So we want to make sure that for September, which is the original month of emancipation for African Americans in 1863, to come back and recognize each September how that freedom has allowed us to kind of grow and be able to celebrate that.
And then the next day, the annual Tell the Story Black History Conference taking place Saturday, September 13th.
Right, and that is the conference that we have every year to actually teach Utah Black history. Again, like I said, we're going to be focusing on the Green Book this year. So those hotels, restaurants, and other businesses that made travel safe for African Americans coming through Utah.
How can individuals, and you already mentioned this, if they have a story and you said just don't put it in your personal scrapbook, share it. How can they share that?
Oh, I'm a member of the Utah Board of State History. So there's always the Utah Board of State History to share history with, to share it with SEMA, to share it with people that make it public. One thing I think many people forget is that you can publish your family history and put it in a library so that it's always found and always discovered. But there's many ways that you can share that. And we do have a means of collecting artifacts and things of that nature that we can protect them and work with partners to make sure that material stays safe, so that with the eventuality help of having a Black History Museum here in Utah, we will have artifacts for that museum. So we're always in that process. And there are organizations out there and individuals out there who already have a ton of things that
is there
share.
Like a physical museum yet where people can go, or is that something that...
No, that's something that we're currently
you're working on.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
When will we have that? Your hope?
Ooh, man. Yesterday.
Exactly, right? Years ago.
Yeah, we actually have a group that's active right now in trying to find ways to create a museum, and hopefully it will be in Salt Lake City or somewhere in Salt Lake County.
Yeah, we sure hope so too.
Well, Robert Burch, thanks so much for coming in this morning.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's
I
cool.
appreciate it.
All right.
Thanks.
Thanks.